Yo guys, welcome back to another health reaction YouTube video, reacting to another YouTube video. We're going to be watching Joe Frazer's video. I tried the world's most expensive foods. I'm going to be giving you my take on this video as a self-proclaimed health quant who day to day will sometimes spend hundreds of dollars on my daily meals. Obviously, I'm eating like really high quality raw animal foods, some of the freaky shit you can't even find on the menu. But I really hope he does cover some of those things instead of just the chocolate that he's at least starting out the video with in his hands, because this is like shit versus shit. Doesn't matter what the price is, it's still like made from inedible toxic beans. Do you get me?
This chocolate bar costed 60p and this one costed 300.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. Like this maybe at most has some more heavy metals, so it's like somewhat worthwhile to buy something more premium if you're doing it for your own enjoyment. But it's still not really food at the end of the day. It's like an intentionally engineered drug that is mixed in some semi-edible ingredients like the milk with a toxic flavor that our brain is just susceptible to drug addiction with.
£78.
When you buy a product, usually you have two options. First is the cost-friendly option. It's never quite as good, but you're saving money. And then second is the quality option. Usually much tastier, but it's a lot more expensive.
A lot more expensive. This is like 50 cents versus $2. It's the same shit. Like both are very, very cheap. Like these are foods intentionally designed to sell to the masses, to the goy, to the cattle. The thing with these foods is that they give you a level of satisfaction, at least like dopaminergically, but they don't actually satisfy your biology. So because the elite, the ruling class, they are the only people who can really afford, or like the people who are intentionally choosing to purchase like the high quality animal foods, the animal products that actually satisfy and satiate their biology. What do they need to sell to and give to the working class so they don't revolt, so their hunger doesn't actually cause them and motivate them to change the situation, change the hierarchy? They need to give them drugs that have no nutrition whatsoever, but still stimulates the reward centers in the brain, and at least for a period of time signals to the consumers, the cattle, the goy, that they have been nourished. But obviously it won't do that at all.
And in supermarkets today, this is...
And then wait, cornflakes, if I go back half a second, invented by...
Second is the quality option. Usually much tastier, but it's a lot more expensive. And in
Sir Arthur Kellogg, he was a Seventh-day Adventist religion follower, and he intentionally made cornflakes with the purpose of neutering the sex drive in young men and women. So completely devoid of any nutrition, will actually drain minerals out of your body. It will decrease your body's ability to absorb, to utilize any sort of bioavailable nutrition. Say you eat like your cornflakes in raw milk, the raw milk will become less bioavailable, but by fact of having toxic cornflakes in your body. So it's not really food, but it'll fill you up. It will give you that sensation of being filled and satisfied, so you don't revolt, so you don't feel like you're in poverty. But ultimately, you're going to be left with far worse health outcomes, in the sense that anyone who eats this or feeds this to their kids will be shorter, more ugly, more diseased, more dull. They will be less robust, and they won't actually live up and develop into their genetics. And then obviously they'll have health conditions alongside that because they've been living their whole life chronically deficient.
supermarkets today, this...
Obviously don't eat that shit. I had that when I was young. Like I had some cornflakes here and there, but I was also fortunate enough that when I was growing up, my dad made a lot of eggs for me. Like most mornings I would eat sunny side up, eggs fried in butter. I would eat a lot of steaks, a lot of sausages as well, alongside all the goy stuff, because like my parents didn't know. But looking back, like I'm very lucky that my dad's love for animal foods, I'm not going to say meat, animal foods, was passed down into my childhood.
This is everywhere, a cheap versus expensive option. But what if we took...
Yeah, it's not a cheap versus expensive option. It's just like shit versus slightly less cheap, slightly more expensive shit. But it's still shit, just like packaged in a different way with slightly better marketing, a slightly stronger brand presence, so they can charge slightly more. But even though if it's like 50p, why am I saying p? 50 cents versus $2, it's a 4x increase. This is still cheap enough that the working class can afford it, and cheap enough that anyone who has like any meaningful income can afford it without any strain or issue or concern. Maybe this sounds tone deaf, but like it's shit versus shit.
this logic to the extreme. Well, I picked 6 of my favourite foods, and after intensive research, found the cheapest price versions of that food and the world's most
So maybe, let's hope this one's raw, and this one is just like pasteurized sugar sludge, maybe mixed with corn syrup.
expensive version. The question I'm wondering is, will there be a cheaper food which actually tastes better than the expensive version? As this video goes on, the prices of foods will get higher and higher, and let's start it all off with the humble pan au chocolat.
Hello, how you doing? Thank you.
Inside of this luxurious bakery in the heart of Mayfair, London, they have a pan au chocolat that costs 8 great British pounds.
Can we get a pan au chocolat, please? It smells.
No doubt, I reckon that would taste really good. It's designed intentionally to taste good, but it actually blows my mind that people make this a daily food choice. Like maybe some of you guys watching on your work break, you will go across the road to the 7-Eleven and purchase like these chocolate pastries. Like I don't get how anyone who has any understanding of health whatsoever, or understands even nutrition to the slightest degree, and understands that certain foods have more nutrients and a deficiency in nutrients would lead to subpar health outcomes, would make choices like this when you could eat something for the same price that's nutritious but also tastes good. For example, if I was like walking in a city, which I've been walking in like Barcelona recently, I would just go to the supermarket and just buy like a package of lamb, like a plastic packet, or just like lamb shoulder sliced up, and I just sit down on the bench and just eat that raw, instead of like eating any shitty pastries. Maybe because I couldn't find a butcher, you can still go to a supermarket and buy high quality meat such as lamb.
So nice in here. Thank you very much. Perfect. Have a good day. Thank you. Look at this.
Yeah, crazy. Like I walk in a supermarket, I'm talking about myself, but it's my YouTube video. I walk into a supermarket and I like can't even comprehend that people actually purchase every single item that's on the shelf, when in reality, maybe 1 to 2%, maybe 1% of the actual foods in the supermarket are actually edible. Like this stuff, I mean, no, not edible, genuinely nutritious and actually treatable as food. Like this right here is not food. This will not give you anything.
Expensive pan au chocolat on the planet versus
The cheapest, which is sold here at Lidl. Oops, sorry. 69p. 60p versus £8. We'll start with the cheaper one. I mean, obviously, it's delicious. For 69p, you cannot beat that. Fresh, airy, a lot of chocolate, cannot complain for 69p.
Yeah, it's like the price is not reflective of the quality of ingredients or like the level of nutrition and health that you're actually getting from the food, which is what food should be about and has been about for our entire lifespan, evolution, history as humans. Like you're not eating food for anything but to nourish yourself. And now we've like gone so far down the rabbit hole, or we've been so far indoctrinated that we eat food simply for temporary satisfaction and pleasure, you know? So maybe like the reason why this is £8 and this one is whatever he said is because it's like he's buying it in Mayfair, where you're paying for, you know, a better location, a better experience, a fancier storefront where they pay higher rent and they pay their employees slightly more, whatever it is. Like the ingredients more or less going to be costing the same, or at least within £1 or so.
But now the big daddy of pan au chocolat, £8 is daylight robbery. All right, let's give it a go. Oh, look at the inside of that.
It's also like, maybe this sounds retarded, maybe it sounds tone deaf. Like the difference between £1 and £8 for anyone that has any actual money whatsoever is nothing. Like this is like you're paying no money versus no money. So this is just more or less servicing to the people who can afford to pay no money. Like to them, £8 is no money. So yeah, this is not expensive by any means. He's got a bit of that scarcity mindset maybe, or maybe he's like pandering to his audience who have that scarcity mindset, as most people have, that paying £8 for an item of food is fucking ridiculous, when, to quote Godus, money's not real, obviously. But then to quote myself, you can like print money out of thin air and people are very easily doing it. And the fact that most people have to work so hard for their money, where they maybe only make £8 an hour, is because they've been brainwashed and shoved into a system that is forcing them to do that, to do the labor for other people to gain benefit off of, if that makes sense. Like you're just a cog in the machine.
That is like the most buttery, rich in chocolate pain au chocolat I've ever eaten. Like it flakes off. I mean, it's no questions asked. This one tastes better. Is it worth £8? Definitely not.
But for this video, we're going purely...
Bro, what is money? Like I've fucking bought eight-pound oysters and I'll get a dozen of them. I've done that when I've had no money. So this is like not even because I'm earning money from my businesses. I will spend all my money on food simply to signal to myself, to my body, that I am abundant. And also to like eat the food and enjoy the food. But I think signaling abundance to yourself through food is one of the best things you can do, because the more like friction and resistance you have to the way you spend your money and the way you value yourself, the more friction and resistance you're going to encounter in your life, compared to if you're the person who sees good food, values your health, values yourself, and sees money as something that is not actually the end goal. The more detached you are to it, the more easily you bring it into your life. Think of like maybe some of you guys, your mum, or like your parents, one of your parents may be like very, very frugal with their money. But the thing is, they're not actually making much money, or they've never made that much money, or they've never actually used the money they've made to improve their quality of life. So this scarcity mindset really keeps you in a box.
taste, and that goes to the expensive pain au chocolat. Next up, we have grapes.
Grapes, 60 quid. Shit. How? Should we ask? Excuse me, we're looking around for the most expensive food items.
Yes.
I assume
Yeah, okay, obviously spending I was zoning out. Obviously spending £60 on grapes is retarded. I actually wouldn't do that. Also because grapes are just like heavily sprayed with pesticides, which make your balls and cock smaller.
these two are definitely up there. What is the reason for that?
It's because they're from Japan, and given how...
It's really fucking gay. It's because they're from Japan. It's like the Japan filter meme. I'll pull it up. Yeah, this is the Japanese meme. So people like romanticize things simply because it is from Japan, where everything is like so cute and the culture is so interesting. But in reality, it's not all that. And the people are still sick. Life is still depressing there. A lot of people kill themselves. It's nothing special, nothing to be romanticized. But the Japanese grapes, which is fucking all the reason to charge that much.
large, sweeter.
So, £60 Japanese grapes bought, and for the cheapest bunch of grapes, coincidentally it was from Lidl again.
£1.29, an absolute bargain. But which is better?
Yeah, so both are going to be raping your gut with pesticides because he's obviously not cleaning them beforehand. And then importing grapes is problematic for a whole bunch of other reasons.
That is mental. We'll start with the cheap. I mean, it's delicious. It's just a normal grape. Now the expensive. These are massive. Well, they are very good. They are very good. These are so much sweeter. Normal green grapes, it's a bit of a soury taste to them. But these, just pure, sweet, juicy, absolutely unreal.
So, another win for the expensive team. We're now going to bump the price up quite significantly, and it's for a coffee.
And we're going to start with the cheapest coffee I could find, which is sold at Wetherspoons. They do a coffee with unlimited refills for £1.71.
That's unlimited refills. If it's that cheap, what does that tell you about the product you're purchasing? Obviously, it's grain sludge. We know this. We see in animal studies that it is neurotoxic. We can even see that in humans as well, but we also see that it can be used as a pesticide, a insecticide. Like, animals don't want to go near it, but we've decided that we want to turn this poisonous bean into a stimulant because the whole population is chronically deficient in nutrients and consequently energy because their lifestyles don't actually allow them to rest and recover from their work, and they're constantly being degraded by everything unnatural in our environment, that we actually need to drink poison to feel somewhat alert. So yeah, shit versus shit, this one's going to be.
Thank you very much. Spoons, you make it yourself. We've got cappuccino, latte, flat white, white coffee, coffee, espresso. So many options. I guess for the video, we'll just get basic coffee.
If you guys don't know, if you wake up in the morning and you feel like shit, what you need to have is a few raw eggs on its own, like first thing getting right out of bed. So like keeps a carton of eggs next to your bed, crack it on your tooth, suck it out. And then after that, have one peeled raw cucumber, go for a morning walk in the early morning sun. So like literally within the first 2 hours of sunrise, and you'll feel a lot more alert with a much more stable, steady energy compared to this shit, which will give you dark eye circles, cause you to crash out, burn out, give you a lot of nervous system fatigue, and age you.
Absolutely delicious. And basic, can't go wrong, black coffee. Not much more else to say.
Now for the expensive coffee.
We're in Mayfair, London. Wrong, black coffee. Not much more else to say.
Now for the...
That's a pretty cool car. So any cars pre-2005, which is when I was born, don't have any Bluetooth. This one, I'm not like that into cars where I know the names, but this Ferrari is pretty nice. No Bluetooth, not going to be radiating you. It's probably got some nice leather seats.
expensive coffee.
And it's red, which is like the color of blood, so it stimulates appetite and desire while you're actually, when you're looking at it.
We're in Mayfair, London. This place apparently sells the most expensive coffee in the world.
If he's in Mayfair, he can probably go buy some like nice tartare. There's probably some good French restaurants, but it's like genuine like food that the elite, the ruling class, the people who have money, the people who understand health to some degree, or the people who at least intuitively understand health will purchase. But he's going to buy coffee, toxic, poisonous bean sludge.
Thank you very much. Holy fuck, Jack. It's there.
The Japan Typica natural coffee.
It's from Japan. It's from Japan. Okay, there it makes sense.
£265.
Japan Typica natural. The 265 quid, right? Okay.
I was confused how a coffee could even be this expensive.
Hello, how are we doing? There's a scale.
So we're going to use 15 grams of beans. They started cultivating this coffee since 2015. There's a family in Japan called in Okinawa.
Okinawa, if you guys don't know, the land of pork. They ate a lot of pork there. They ate a lot of raw seafood there. They had the longest living people. And then the Seventh-day Adventists funded all of the Blue Zone studies to make it look like that the Okinawans ate far, far more vegetables and plant products than they actually did.
Motor family?
Yeah.
Only they do it all over the world. It's very hard to cultivate coffee in Japan.
Yeah.
So they do it like only one season in a year. So they have to wait the whole year.
Right.
With this coffee,
Yeah.
you can taste fruity notes, it's juicy and bright acidity.
But for 265 quid, how did it taste?
Here goes nothing. The most expensive coffee on the planet. I don't know, bro. I think I'm preferring the just normal coffee. It tastes like coffee, but afterwards you get this like fruity aftertaste. I don't like this mix of fruit and coffee. The cheap one's nicer. If they were both the same price and I'm going purely off taste, I prefer the cheaper one.
We have our first expensive loser. Now let's bump the price up even higher, a chocolate bar. In supermarkets, they have some chocolates going up to 5-6 quid, but online there's this.
A company called Toak, selling the most expensive chocolate in the world. Their Master Series Enriquestuado, definitely pronounced that wrong, £370. What? It uses Ecuador's ancient cocoa and has a flavour profile of caramel, plum, honey and cashews, all in a single bite. I guess rip my bank account. It's absolute, like, look at this compared to the cheap one. Chocolate bar on the planet.
Wow.
Right.
That's fucking crazy.
60p, actually very nice. It melts in a £373 bar of chocolate.
The only reason, I'm trying to do a Curtis accent. The only this is not good. The only reason you ever wanted to eat chocolate is because you want to eat liver. That's really shit. Fuck.
So many different flavours came through as I was chewing that. I got fruit come through. There was that like earthy, tobacco-y scent come through. There was the chocolate itself. A bit of
His YouTube videos are like servicing the lowest IQ people on the planet. My YouTube videos are servicing maybe slightly higher, or I don't know, maybe higher. Actually, that sounds mean. What the fuck am I saying? I'm just saying his YouTube videos are retarded. Like, look how he's like talking like so serious about the shit that he's the shit that he's reviewing. Like, who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck. I'm joking. This is the highest IQ YouTube channel on the planet, which makes sense because I'm high IQ and everyone else who does the things that I do is insanely intelligent.
caramel.
Why does that sound sarcastic?
Now, like, that is the weirdest thing I've ever eaten. Like, have you seen that, the Willy Wonka, the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory shit? Yeah, it's like, that's probably the best way I could describe it.
While both
Holy
chocolate bars are
shit,
good,
what
it was
the
a
fuck?
clear victory for the expensive one this round.
That's fucking
Next up,
crazy.
nearly doubling the price of the chocolate, we've got steak.
The cheapest steak restaurant I could
Come
find
on.
was this place,
Let's
Flat
go.
Iron. I'm joined with my mum and dad.
Hi. Hello.
Let's try the steak. There's just one. I'm John.
We're going to review the parent's physiognomy. Looks like a cuck. He looks very nice and warm, but he looks like a cuck. You can tell because he's got very round features. He doesn't have any edges. Good circle. It's like two big circles. And then his mum looks very lovely. So that's all I'm going to say.
Joined with my mum and dad.
Hi. Hello.
Let's try the steak. There's just one steak. 15 quid. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you.
We ordered for the steak to be cooked medium.
See, I would say that's rare, not medium.
Yeah,
So you don't like the look of that?
But how did it
I
taste?
knew it. I knew he was a cuck. Doesn't like raw steak if you guys weren't following.
Very chewy. What would you say?
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a decent cut of steak.
It was a pretty high quality cut, relatively well seasoned, and while not blowing us away,
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's a little bit raw. There's not a lot of fat. I like the fat. The fat. So one thing about this whole video, guys, is like he's trying to make the comparison or like play off the psychological comparison that because something is more expensive, it must be better. This is not the case. Even with the premium shit, even with the freaky stuff you can't even find on the menu, at times the cheapest stuff is going to be better than the most expensive stuff. Like if we go back to the 1600s, I learned this through an Instagram reel. Oysters were very, very cheap. Everyone like could buy oysters for not much money compared to now. They're like a premium food, but oysters were still extremely healthy back then. The equivalent with this today would be buying organ meats from your local butcher, where otherwise they'd just throw it out. It would be buying raw milk directly from your farmer in parts of Northern Europe, where you may pay just like €1 just to have unpasteurized dairy, or at like my butchers in Australia, for example, I'll pay a very, very cheap price, or they'll even give it to me for free to buy just the fat offcuts, like the fat trimmings of the organic grass-fed steak. So I'm getting like the most prized, most valuable nutrient for us as humans for free. So cost doesn't matter. You can eat extremely healthily for not much money, or you can go all out and you can add experience into that and you can spend money on it too. So like even actually the whole thing in this video, my whole message, because I care about altruism, is that even if you have no money and even if you like live off welfare, off Centrelink, whatever, you can still spend your money very frugally and actually get the best products to eat better than 99.9999% of people. You can go to a butcher, ask them for meat offcuts, fat offcuts, trimmings that they would otherwise throw out, sell to like a dog food company or like turn into sausages themselves, and you can buy that for dirt cheap. You can also dumpster dive, you can go fishing. Going fishing is pretty good. Or if you guys saw those, like that reel going around, it was a viral reel, or I saw it on TikTok maybe, I don't know, I was just brain rotting one day. It's like you can get a natural pond in your garden, and it can just you can self-sustainingly maintain a population of fish, of trout maybe, I don't know. So you can put a fish pond in your backyard. If you don't have a backyard, you can put it in your bathtub. So there's no reason why you can't actually eat these healthy prize foods. It's just like you've been brainwashed out of convenience, you know?
for 15 quid.
Not you, maybe you guys are eating raw steak watching this video, but I'm talking about this guy.
We couldn't complain.
Yeah.
Good.
And the most expensive steak restaurant is this place. I can't pronounce it, but it's the place sold.
It's the Instagram place with all the rocks that he puts on the steak. It's like, why would you eat rocks? We don't eat rocks in nature.
Bones.
£15 versus
Oh my god.
I can't believe it, Joe.
Giant strip loin, 680.
It's not bad. It's not bad. The thing with Wagyu steaks is like, oftentimes they're fed shit, like beer, chocolate, because they try to get the fat and the marbling in the right places. So it's not even like the healthiest. It may taste the nicest, but like a Wagyu steak is the equivalent of like the drugged up, juiced up steak. It's just not even the best. But I mean, whatever, it's better than the other stuff he's shown in the video.
£50.
Probably half what I earn a month.
Can we get the giant strip loins?
Probably half what I earn a month.
I know I'm like not a financial guru or like some sort of entrepreneur known for making money or anything, but like this is so sad that people are at such, I mean, no, that she's making like, what is she saying? She's making 1,200 a month. She's making, what's that? Run the maths. 16,000 a year, 15,000 a year, in the range. I'm not calculating that, but it's so sad that someone who has the exact same biological makeup is operating at such a low level of consciousness and utilizing their biological bandwidth so poorly that in terms of leverage, they are valued at like less than multiple percents. No, what the fuck am I saying? Less than 1% of someone who is actually using their biology properly, in that they're making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of pounds a month, which I know guys doing that. I have clients doing that, and maybe IQ wise, they're not so far apart from these two. I don't know, they could be really smart, like really intelligent on paper, but they're simply just not leveraging what they've actually been given, and they're operating from this scarcity, fear, low state of consciousness state. I'm not saying this out of ego. I'm saying this like out of like, wow, like this is the explanation that I've put together to actually understand how someone could be living so below their true potential,
Can we get these giant strip loin steaks, please?
A £680 steak. It was presented beautifully and looked delicious. But all I care about is how good it tastes.
Salt is like a stimulant as well. People are not going to like this, but salt is a stimulant. You're eating like a toxic poisonous rock, especially when it's in the isolated rock form, to get a bit of a adrenalized boost off of it, Like, just because coffee and salt and blah, blah, blah boost your metabolism doesn't mean it's actually healthy, Running away from a bear will boost your metabolism too. This is all like short-lived and comes at the cost of other parts of your health.
That is absolutely blooming gorgeous. Oh God, that's delicious.
I didn't want it to be good.
That's so nice.
Because I hate spending this money, but it literally melts in your mouth.
Oh.
Another clear
It's crazy that he's got such a scarcity mindset that he would have made a lot of money from doing this video. And he's got sponsorships, he's got a YouTube channel that he earns ad revenue from, and he still feels uncomfortable parting with the money that is a business expense. Or maybe he's just putting on an act, I don't know.
victory for the expensive team. And now we move on to our final and most expensive food item of the video. Honey.
And don't think that I'm really that I'm like a cunt or something, or like I'm out of touch with money, because I don't make like that much money. I make enough to buy all the foods and live my life comfortably, but then I've also always had this detached, abundant mindset, in that 2 years ago when I was flat broke, or even more recently, I will spend all the money I've got on food and on experience and on the things that I actually truly value, because what is money but not the thing you should use to enjoy your life and to make the most out of it, which in one way would be maximizing your health and your well-being. It's one thing if you have to provide for a family, for your kids, for loved ones, but that's how they actually trap you in this box, For me, I could have the same net worth as fucking someone in India, but I'll still be living that much of a better life because I'm spending the money and using it to grow my network, meet new people, meet like-minded people, enjoy my life, live my life, ultimately raise my state of consciousness to the point where I'm going to be able to attract that much more energy and currency into my life should I choose to do so, So if whatever you take away from this video, spend money, think about it later. There's no such thing as a spending problem, just an income problem.
This is mad. I don't know how this is a thing. There is a company charging £1,300 for a jar of honey. What's so special about it? The honey is sourced from a remote Manuka forest in New Zealand, only accessible by helicopter, ensuring a pristine environment for the bees and honey production. The honey undergoes a 2-year barrel aging process, which is said to enhance the flavour and potency. But is this worth £1,300?
Well, I ordered it. And to compare that to, was this jar...
No, it's not worth it. Why would it be worth it unless... No, it just doesn't have anything that would actually make it worthwhile, It may be a cool gift because, wow, I bought the most expensive honey. But if you truly wanted to buy the best honey for someone, you would go find something local, something like a nice seasonal honey, where ideally the bees have been pollinating, getting the pollen from an area that's not near any large agricultural farms where they're using pesticides and sprays and glyphosate, so glyphosate-free honey essentially. And then you would want to choose a honey that you like and you enjoy the variety of, compared to importing shit, you know?
Honey and Lidl for 79p.
Yeah, and this is obviously just like corn syrup mixed with like very, very highly melted honey, which is just sugar sludge because all the enzymes and a lot of the minerals are heat sensitive.
£1,299
And even the sugars are heat sensitive.
and 21p cheaper. All right, 79p honey, £1,300 honey. Let's crack this open. Oh my God. This is it.
When I opened the lids of the two honeys, I noticed the colours were completely different.
Wow.
Hello. Guess how much this costed?
£50.
A lot more than that.
Really?
Yeah, £1,300.
Oh my God.
But which tastes better? I blindfolded myself, so I didn't know which one was which. The honey was then put on two identical pieces
No, he's put it on goy slices.
of toast. Do you guys know which is which? But I don't. This was my honest opinion.
Okay.
Like, you don't realize you can eat enjoyable like dessert foods, but it can be super healthy. If I was testing this honey, I would just get like a nice fat glass of raw milk. I would get my wooden spoon and I would mix the honey in, and that would taste really nice. It might get me like nice and fat because I'd have a lot, but it'd actually get me healthy. This won't. It's pesticide bread. It's glyphosate bread that he's eating.
It's very sweet, but extremely sandy. I don't know how to explain it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
wow.
like sandy. It's like they've poured sand in the honey.
Fucking hell.
Right, second one. Now that's more like it. That is good.
Well, it's just actually a good sign. If it feels like it's had sand poured in it, then it's like all the little honey crystals are still intact. That's like true high quality raw honey compared to like the sugar sludge that has been heated so much that it won't actually crystallize and reharden.
Well, the cheaper one was much better. And I guess this video shows that, yes, higher cost usually leads to higher quality, but it's not always the case.
Alright, guys, thanks for watching the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you have any other videos that you think would be actually beneficial for me to review and react to, maybe some that are more in the realm of like serious health, chronic disease, stuff that is like a bit more serious than the goy stuff I just watched, let me know, because I'm more than open to watching what you guys want me to watch. But thanks for watching. And I will say, if you do want to actually learn primal health and you want to understand what truly healthy diet lifestyle is that will lead to great health outcomes in terms of how you look, feel, how long you live, all the shit I was talking about in this video, then I would recommend watching the Primal Health Masterclass, which is going to be linked in the description of this video, or maybe put on the end card, or it's the pinned video on my YouTube channel. But watch that and you'll understand like more of where I'm coming from when I say all this stuff is like shit goy food.